Okay. So guys, let's start class.
We can see the screen.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so now it's good. Okay, so last time we start a little bit of this, we start a little bit of this decking cost footage, right? I mean calculators. So we're gonna continue this work. Now in today's class, I will separate today's class in two parts. Now the first 1 hour, we will do the lecture. I mean, we will do the decking cost calculator until 12. Now after 12, I will stop and give you 40 minutes to do your either case problem or just whatever you want, like 40 minutes study time. So now if you ever log into Blackboard, now you're gonna see I have changed the homework 5 submission time to March 19th. Okay, so if you look at the calendar, now you know today is 2nd, but next week is our what you said spring break. So next week there's no class. So next time after this class, next time you see me will be on the 14th. So I'm planning to finish the chapter 5 on 14 and the 16. So the deadline of submitting chapter 5 is Saturday night. Okay, I can make it like Sunday, that's fine. So that is homework 5. So we have plenty of time. Okay. Also for the midterm, I know some of you guys is super fast. Some of you guys already finished the decking calculator and you're doing the case for chapter 5. Now, if you finish the chapter 5, you still have something to do. Remember, we have the midterm project. So the midterm project will also due, I think March 20 or 26. I'm not sure the time. I can, we can adjust time based on your feedback. So you can provide me the feedback next time you see me. You want an extra time or you want whatever you want. Okay. But this is one thing I want to remind you. So this is a lecture class, face-to-face lecture class. So which means now when I provide lectures, now you should pay attention instead of doing your homework. Okay, that is very, very unless you finish chapter 5, unless I receive your decking cost project. If I did not receive the decking cost calculator, then you should follow me, okay? Otherwise, I have to call your name, which is probably not what you want, right? So now let's start. So in today's class, we're gonna cover a lot of content. First of all, if I look at this is a finished one, okay? Now, if I now, after we finish this project, we should have something look like this. As you can see, this is user interface. Now will contains a label, right? Which we did, and a square feet, which we also did, and we have the text box. And the next thing we do is we're gonna have the group box. So in this, why we call it group box? Because now inside of this, we have 3 buttons, radio buttons. So you should have these radio buttons in your midterm also. In our midterm folder, we have the rubric to show you. Now, if we have frame, you have 20 points. If you have the text button, you have whatever point. So you can, for the midterm and even later for the final. If you don't like the topic I provide, you can use any topic you want. Actually, I strongly suggest you to have something new, something fresh. Okay. So we have these 3 buttons. That's why it's called a group button. We're gonna learn that. We're gonna do that today. And now this is a label, and this is another label. So these 2 labels is just like the bike rental, right? Total cost. So as you can see, if I click that, the property name should be you see label cost, and this one will be cost estimate, and this is a calculator and this is a clear. So basically, now if I want to write this program, I should have one procedure for calculate, one procedure for clear, and one procedure for the form load, right? And here we have a picture box, so we have an image right here. And later on, if I run this code, Okay, if I run this code, the final result of this project is that if I run this code, I can type 2 or 3, whatever I want, and then click this. Now they have this group box. Inside of this group box, we have radio button. So that is if else statement. If I select this, then the price will be this unit price, right? Redwood times the square feet. And I click calculate to give me this price. Now if I click the current price and I click this, it give me a different price because based on what you choose, you have a different unit value, right? That's the if else statement. And we're gonna learn if else statement, if then else. We can have if then else inside of another if then else. Put your phone down, right? And so this is what we have. And if we type something wrong, like say for example, if I type -1 here, and I click calculate, and you can see we have a message box right here. And I think I remember in our midterm, now you're supposed to have a message box. Now we're gonna learn that message box from chapter 5 also. Because if we type something less than 0, then we should have a message box show us not input error. So we are going to learn group box for the toolbox. We're going to learn if else, nested if else, and also the message box. So those are content in chapter 5. Now let's start our class. Okay. Now we go back to this one. This is what we left last time. So last time we create a form, and in this form we have a label. As if you remember, we click the label called as LBL heading, right? And then if you go to the text part, and then the text of this is decking cost calculator. So everything we type in our text property will display on our window, right? So whatever you want to see will be the text box, and then later on you remember the text box, the text property are always string type. So which means if you type integer, but that is not integer, as long as it's signed to the text, you have to convert to the integer or convert to decimal. Then you do the calculation, just like we did on the beach bike. Now here, this one is label square feet, right? And this one, it is a text box, which called text footage. And we know last time we make sure we change all the font to be this Goldie old style. So actually later on today, I think every text on this screen will be this font, Goldie old style. And we last time what we did was we type 88 inside, then we can adjust the size to make sure we can display 2 digits, because 8 is the widest digit. So that is what we did last time. So let's continue. So after we have this basic one, the next thing will be the group box. So pay attention. Now we're gonna find the toolbox from here. From toolbox, we're gonna see group box, which is right here. Now it's also in alphabetic order. Okay, right here is called group box. We drag it right here and then release. So as you can see here, now this is my group box, and you can just change the location or change the size later. So this is our group box. As you can see here, after you drag the group box right here, by default, the system assign the name, which is group box 1. Now you don't want group box 1, you want to double click and then change the name. For the group box, the why it calls group box, because it will contain several tools from the toolbox. That is why it's called group box, which can contain several tools. Now in this project, the tool we have 3 radio button. Now for the group box, we start with the GRP. Okay. All the prefix are lower cases, the GRP deck type. Okay. Also, in the future, you will see most of the naming convention. What is naming convention? You name your variables, name this object. You want make like maybe sometimes like the first words be lowercase, then start from the second word, every word's first letter be uppercase, Okay, but for this one, okay, so this is the group text type. Okay, now what we want to display in our group box, like some kind of title, because right now, as you can see here, this is group box 1, right? That is the text part. Now we don't want group box 1. We're gonna go down to the text part, double click, and we're gonna change it to decking type. So as you can see here, we change to decking type. Now later on, we're gonna modify to all the same font style, which is Goldie's old style. So you can see what we just did 3 steps. The first step, you have the group box. Second step, you change the name to group desktop. The third step, you change the text to decking type. The next thing is you want to change the size. Okay. Change the size. The size should be, double click, 244, 106. And you click enter. As you can see, it becomes this size. So this special size you can modify in the property, which is 244, 106. Okay. Chris, you finished this project already?
Oh, yeah, I just do the voting at home.
Okay. Now we have this one, the size. The next one, we want to change the back color. If you compare to this existing one, the back color is like a little bit of blue color, right? How can we make this blue color like this? Now we're gonna go to the back color, which is right here. Now keep in mind, I'm making my property in alphabetic order, so it will be easier for me to find. So for the back color, I want to be Alice blue. So where's the Alice blue? Should be right here, actually. That is Alice blue. So still under the web category, and you find Alice blue, Alice in the Wonderland, Alice blue. Okay. Now we have that. Okay, so next thing we will do is we want to center. Okay, before we center that, we're gonna change the font first. Okay. So after we have the color to be Alice blue, now we're gonna modify the font style as we mentioned before. Go to the font. Now your font style will still be the same as previous one, Goldie old style. Okay, Goldie old style, regular, which is regular, and the 14, size 14. Okay, still, so all the font in this user interface are Goldie old style. Now we click OK. So you can see that is what we have so far. So later on, we're going to change all the fonts to certain color. So now we don't have to worry. Okay, so we're gonna do it later. So we have a decking type, which is Goldie old style 14, regular 14. Okay, no bold, just regular. Now the next thing is we want to center this with below the title right here. So how do we center it below the title? We click this and go to format, and then we can go to the horizontal center in the form horizontally, something like this. Actually, you should not, we just center the whole form. This is not what we want. Just we can drag it. So just move a little bit. So we cannot really just use the center, because center is everything. Now we don't want to center because this side, the other side, the right side should be picture box. So we do it like here. So this is our group box is ready. So next thing is we're gonna add 3 radio buttons. Okay, we're gonna add 3 radio buttons here. The first one is we find the radio button on your toolbox. Make it, make sure it's a alphabetic order. So use radio button right here. You drag it and move it here. So this is radio button 1. We move another one because we need 3. Okay, button 2, and we have one more. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't have enough space because later on we're gonna adjust the sign. So we just leave like that. So later on we can fix it. So we have the radio button. We drag it from the toolbox to our, what do you say, the group box. Okay, seems like the group box is too small. The group box 244 106 should be fine. Okay, now let's see this. Let's click the first one. Let's click the first one. The first one is, as you can see here, by default, the name is radio button 1. So we double click and we're gonna change the name as, radio button. So we're gonna change the prefix. We're gonna add a prefix as RAD, rad lumber. RADLUMBER. Okay, so this is the first one. We change the name. So this first radio button is referred to rad lumber. And we want to display, we don't want to display radio button, right? So we have to go to the text property. So far, everything we want to display on our screen should be, the certain objects text property. So in this text property, I'm going to type pressure treated lumber. So it seems like it's a certain wood style. Okay. I'm gonna move this lower down so you can see what I'm typing. Okay, lumber. A little bit to here so you can see what I'm typing here. Okay, pressure treated lumber. So we have this. You know what? I should probably make it bigger so you can just don't have this one struggled. So this is one of this. I'm gonna change the size, the group box a little bit bigger also. So we have this. So the pressure dash treat lumber. So this is one. What do we have? Now we can click the second one. Okay, the second one, the name will be, at this point is radio button 2. So we double click and we're gonna change name as RAD as a radio button. Wood. Oh, yeah. Redwood. Already red wood. A lowercase w. Redwood. So first one, the first icon name, a label is a red lumber. The second one is a redwood. Okay. After you finish that, you scroll down, you go to text property, and you change the text. The one we want to display on the screen, which will be just redwood. Okay, redwood. So this is a redwood. Okay. Now, after we type that, now we're gonna go to this one, and we're gonna change the last one's name to be RAD composite. Okay, and we're gonna go to the after we change name, go to the text property. I'm going to change to the text property. Okay, I'm going to drag it right inside. Now, as you can see, if I drag this one inside, my font automatically become this. I'm going to go to here. My text property, text should be the type composite. Okay, composite. Now after that, we're gonna, I want to drag it to this, make it bigger, so it will contain everything right here. Okay, so we have this. Now, if I click the first one, you will see, go to the font. Now you will see this is the size, because inside the group box, if I did not change the font will be the same font as your text, which is the Goldie Old style regular 14. So this is the one we had. If you want to double check the redwood, and you will see the redwood also is this, because they are in the group box, so they have the same font. And for this one, as you can see, it is the exact same Goldie Old style regular 14. And we finish the, what do you say, the radio button. The next one, we're gonna click by default. Okay, so we click the first one. So when we have the radio button, now if sometimes the user will not select or forget to select, or you want to set up some default by default. If they don't change, by default they will use certain type. So by default, we can set up the first one as the default value. So if a user don't click the redwood or composite, they will by default use the lumber. So we go to we click the first one, and we go to the check property, go to the top, checked property, go to the check property, and right now it's false. So we're gonna change it to true. So as you can see, once I click true, it's automatically selected. So when we design our user interface, we want like a set up default value. So just in case user don't want to select, every time if you go online shopping or you do the survey, sometimes you will always have this, the default button, right? So that is by default. I set up the first one as default choice by go to the property of lumber, go to the check property and make it true. Okay. Okay, so we always use the, set up probably the cheapest way, or the most people use this. So the popular one as this one. So next one, according, if we compare to our final result, okay, so this is the final result. You can see we have this cost label is true, right? We're gonna have two labels. Then this is a label, as you can see here, label cost. And this one is label cost estimate. So we're gonna add two labels and two button. Okay, this is a button calculator, this button clear. I'm gonna finish up this. So go to the screen. Now we're gonna go to the label. We're gonna have two labels. Drag one label right here. Drag another label right here. Okay, two labels. Label one, label two. So we click the label one. Now we're gonna change the name. So the first name is LBL cost. So you can see we add prefix in front of each object name to kind of make sure user will know, okay, this is a label, or this is a radio button, this is a text box. So we have LBL cost. Now we're gonna go to the text property. What we want to display, because we never want to display as a label one, right? So we go to text property, and we want to change to cost estimate. Cost estimate. So cost estimate. Okay, now if you once you finish that, we can change the font size. Okay, cost estimate, go to text property, and we go to the top of the font. Go to the go the old style, regular, and size 16. Okay, regular 16. I'll click OK. Now you have this one. This is cost estimate. Now we click the other one. Okay, the label 2. Now label 2 is label cost estimate actually. So we can go to the name. By default, this is label 2, right? Double click. I'm gonna name as LBL cost estimate. Click enter. Cost estimate. And then we're gonna have a value to hold it. Now if we compare to the final result, the value I put will be this $40.00, right? So this is a cost estimate, and we're gonna have a text like this. So we go back to this one, and we go to, after we change the name to LBL cost estimate, we go down, go to our, okay, first of all, you can change your font to be the same font. Go the old style, regular 16. Okay, change the same size as cost estimate. Now then we go to the text property, and we're gonna change the the text, whatever we want to display as $0.000.00. Okay, so we have this. Okay, now we're gonna do the next. Okay, beside this, we are going to go add calculator and clear button. Okay, so I'm gonna move on up a little bit so we have a space. Oh, wait a second, this group. Okay, center this. Now we can add 2 buttons here. Button 1 and button 2. So we have 2 buttons here. Now we're gonna modify the button 1, button 2. Now we select button 1. Now we go to the top. The button 1 will be BTN. Button 1 we start with BTN. BTN calculate. So when I click this button, I will call this procedure to do the calculation, right? In the if else statement based on the checked. If it's true or not, yeah.
It says my name by Martin check calculation the property value is not valid.
Now you click the button 1, right? And on the top of it, see the name. Just click button calculate.
Yeah, I did that.
It tells you it's invalid. Oh, you change to the bottom to the cost?
Yeah, because I tried changing it earlier when let me, and then I changed total cost.
Okay. Oh, that's well. You know, what about the other font is different? Why is doing the font we have?
No, that's just fine. I still got the old fashioned.
Oh,
Got the old style.
Why the details like this? You name a button already used in by another component. You use it already? So where you use
I
it?
don't know where I use the buttons actually. I looked at complement buttons.
You don't have? What's wrong with this? You have other credit open?
No, it's just whatever.
Okay. You can calculate it. I'll just change the text copy.
Okay.
So we're gonna after we change the name, now we're gonna go to the text property, and we're gonna change to calculate, and we're gonna change the size and the font. Okay, the font should be same font as previously. The same font. Go to the font. Click this. Is go the old style, regular 14, size 14. Click OK. So you will have this. As you can see, it's too small. You cannot see anything. So we're gonna drag it, and also the book tell you the size of this should be 116,41. So we can go to the size is 116,41. So calculate. So that's the size. You can make it somewhere a little bit left. Okay, so we have calculate. Now, besides that, we can change the back color property to white. So we're going to go to the back color property. Back color property. Back color is background color. So we change to white. Okay, the white doesn't look white. It doesn't look white. Please. Okay, so back color properties to white. So this is one of this. I'll click another one. Okay, click another one. The second button, the name will be, we'll go to here. My button name will be BTN clear. BTN clear. Button clear. Now after change to BTN clear, now we're gonna go down. Okay, the back color is white, which is still true. Why the color is not really white? Something's wrong with my computer, I believe. Doesn't look white to me.
You try just changing the color and then going back to white.
You want to change something else and change back to white?
That's what works for me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna change to a different color and change it back to the white. Okay, so you change to the white. Okay, so you're gonna have to change some other color, change it back. So we have white color. Now after we change to white, we go to the text property and change to clear. And we're going to make the size exact same size as calculate. Now you can either just go to the top, change the size from one, from this one to 116.41. Double click 116.41, or we can try. Let's see. So this is one. Oh, I forgot to change the font. So as you can see, this font is so small. So I'm gonna change the font. Change the font. The same font as that calculate, so which is Goldie old style, regular 14. So we have this. So we have calculate and clear, 2 buttons ready. Okay. So we can make sure they are in the same level. How do I know they are same level? So if I drag it, as you can see, if they have this purple line, shows you that in the bottom is like horizontally linked together. Okay, so we have all of this. Next thing is, okay, you want to change every object. Okay, select every object and change the font color to sienna. As you can see, right now our font color of what is font color? The text color. They're all black right now. Right, by default is all black. But you want something look like this, sienna. Okay, so you can either do it one by one. Okay, let's see, find a format. Okay, can we? I'm gonna try to see, can we select all of them together? Select all. So if I click, go to the edit, select all. So that I selected everything. Now I can go to the full color. I'm gonna change to, what is it? Sienna. Sienna. S. Do I have a sienna? We'll go to the web. It must be under the web. Right here. Okay, so I change to sienna and click anywhere to deactivate selection. So it all becomes this color. So once again, now if you want to select all of them together, go to edit button and click select all. So it will select everything. If you select all, now go to the full color right here and under the web. So actually so far, all the color we need to choose under the web category. Under the web category, you select sienna. Okay, so as you can see, now all the color change. I click anywhere to deselect. Okay, so I deselect this. So half size is done. The other half is the picture box. So the other half is picture box. So all you have to do is, okay, give a minute to do so. The size of the whole thing, the size of the whole form. If I click that, the size you see here. Now we have is 720,431. Okay, so after you see the size, so the size is 720,431. Okay, we most likely follow the book's instruction. Just only one thing we change is the group box, because the group box size it provides cannot hold those 3 read buttons, right? So I drag it a little bit. The next part is to insert a picture. How we insert picture? Go to the toolbox and you're gonna find the picture box. Start with P, picture box right here. You drag your picture box right here. So that is your picture box. As you can see, you can modify the size, change the size. So after we drag the picture box here, so we can insert a picture. Now, first of all, we're gonna change the picture box name. So if we go to the top, we can double click. We can change the picture name. PIC, lowercase PIC, PIC deck. Okay, PIC deck. Okay, picture deck. and we can change the size to 338. Go to the size. We're gonna change the size from 338, 390. So it will be this size. As you can see, it's huge. So we're gonna drag it, move it right here. So as you can see, when we do that, we're gonna have to move our picture somewhere. Okay, move a little bit because that is too big. Okay, we can just based on the size of our picture box, because it's too big. Maybe you should make it smaller because my calculator, I couldn't see. I'm gonna make it backing cost. Okay, calculate that. I make it smaller. Okay, I adjust it. So instead of 338, I kind of change it to, what do you say, 307. Okay, just modify it a little bit to make it look like the way you want. Make sure that all the labels letter appears. Okay. Then after that, we're gonna go to the picture. We're gonna insert picture, import picture. So go to the image right here. Okay, go to the image, click the property. As you can see, now we don't have nothing. We're gonna import from this data file folder. So I go to the data file folder from my document, wherever the document, the data file folder you have, the basic data files. I think this is one we had from chapter 5. Okay, so this is the one we're supposed to have, and also the other two pictures are from your case study. So among the 4 cases you're supposed to choose, now they provide you 2 images, one for case 1, one for case 2. Now we're gonna choose stacking right here. Okay, now this is a picture, and we click OK. So it gives us this picture, but as you can see, it is not very good looking. So we always need to stretch our image. So we're gonna go to the size mode. From normal, change from normal to stretch image. Okay, so as you can see, it's look better, right? And also, if you want, you can just kind of resize everything to make everything fall into this whole small window. Okay. So this is what we had so far. Okay, so we have done with our user interface. So let's start typing the code. But the first thing we do is we have to add comments, right? And if you want to have a perfect code, you really have to have comments. You need to have the comments for the whole program at the beginning to show you the name of the file, the author, and the date, right? So let's start from beginning. So right now you look at this user interface, you have 2 buttons. So which means you should have at least 2 procedures, one for button calculator, one for clear. And according to what we have learned from chapter 4, we need to have the form load, right? So we have at least these 3 procedures. So let's start from first one. We can double click. If you want to write your code, you can just double click on your object inside of your user interface. And also one thing about the VB is you create user interface first, right? Once your user interface finish, then you do the coding. So we go double click calculate because we do need a procedure for calculate. Now this is the one we supposed to have, but we are not in hurry because the first thing we do is we're gonna move our cursor to the top and to add comments part. Okay, so we're gonna add the comments. Okay, so you can, to make everything your life easier, at the end of this chapter, you do have the whole source code as the back in the page 286. So we can type our comments in the page 286. So apostrophe right here. Okay, so if you have a VB, your comment start with apostrophe. So if you have book, it's on page 286. So we can type our, the comments based on this. So you can see here, the comments will show you the program name, author, date and the purpose. What is the purpose of this code? Okay, keep in mind, if you want to have 100 on your homeworks, you need a comments. The program name. Okay, this is on page 286. Okay. The program name, as you can see here, the decking. So we can put a name here. Decking cost calculator application. Okay, so this is the program name, and you can backspace to make sure even for your format, I mean your comments, you want the certain indentation. Okay, looks to make it look good. So we have program name, then we have author. Who is the author? Corin, the book author. So Corin. Okay, so to make everything look good, you know, the book tells us to make the indentation like even for this. Okay, for the content, each column, I mean each kind of column in the same indent. Now we click enter, and you know for the comment, it's only a single line comments. So every single line at the beginning, you have the apostrophe. Okay, so we have the program name, the author, and the date. You know, for the chapter project, so we can have the date as the books show us. But when you do your case problem, you have your name on the author, and you have your own date. Okay, so the date will be January 29, 2019. Click enter. Okay, so next one, we're gonna have purpose. The purpose is, what is the code? What is this project for? So this Windows application computes the estimated cost of decking based on, okay, so I can just click enter, just go to next one. I can even click enter right here, so you know what I'm typing. And I have to put a comma right here, because without comma, it's black, which means it is part of the body. So based on the number of square feet and the following cost per square apostrophe per square feet. It doesn't have a price. Every type of wood or floor has its price, because we have 3 really button, which means we have 3 price. For the lumber, the price is $2.35 per square foot. And for the redwood, now the price is $7.75 per square foot. And for composite, we have $8.50 per square foot. Okay, So we have that. So that is all the, what do you say? All the comments we type. I can drag it a little bit so we can see what we just typed. And also, after that, you're gonna have to add option strict up. Okay. By default, the option strict is off. Before we don't write this statement, it means this option strict off. So what does this mean? What does option strict on mean? As we mentioned before, now we have a different data type in our computer programming. And most of the time when we do the codings, the compiler will automatically convert maybe integer for decimal or decimal for integer based on your expression, your math expression. But sometimes we don't want that to happen, okay? Because sometimes, if you input a data, a variable, which is supposed to be integer, but you accidentally type a decimal, like 20.9. So the computer will provide 20 to this one instead of 21. So you will have mistakes. So to avoid the data type conversion, you make the option strict out, which means we strictly want this happen. So if someone type a decimal to an integer, I should have a warning message. I should have an error message instead of nothing happened. So that is means option straight on. Because in the future, no matter what language you use, you always know we always have different data types. Okay, because first of all, different data type occupy different memory space, right? Some of them occupy 4 bytes, some of them occupy 12 bytes, some of them occupy 16 bytes. Besides the difference of the memory space, some operations are only for certain type, okay? So which means for integers, we can do certain type. For the decimals, we can do another certain type, okay? They do have certain calculate operations for certain data type. That is why, okay, we have to make sure this should be this right data type. Otherwise, your final result will be off. Okay, so keep in mind, when we do the coding, one type of data error message is syntax error. So if you miss a spelling, or if you do something, if you declare a variable you never use, or if you declare a variable and you use different name, this is all called syntax error. But the majority of error are not syntax error, they are logic error. Okay, which means somewhere you thought now this should be happen, but actually your result is different. So in the future, you will know when you debug your code, besides you do the coding, you debug on your compiler. There's another way you debug. It's called desk checkup. Now, what does desk checkup means? It means if I provide certain input based on my own hands calculate, or I use a calculator to calculate, the result should be this, but somehow in my compiler, the compiler provide me a different result. If this hands-on check and my called desk check, and my compiler provide me two output, that means somewhere in my code will have a logic error. So if you have a logic error, that will be the most difficult error you ever debug. Okay, because you probably don't know what part comes wrong. Okay, so syntax error is like a piece of cake, but if you have a logic error, then you might have trouble. Anyway, so we have that. So keep in mind that the option strict on is to prevent data type convert, okay, automatic convert, because the compiler try to make our life easier. So they will automatically convert decimal to integer, integer to decimal. And sometimes they can even assign you default value. Sometimes you declare a variable, but somehow you forget to initialize. then the compiler even assign a default value. Like if it's an integer and you forgot to assign the value, by default, the integer is 0. And also if you have a Boolean value, Boolean true or false, if you don't assign the value by default, of course, they give you a warning message, but they will use false as default value. Anyway, so we have that. Now let's start from the first one, bottom calculator. Now bottom calculate, for this one, we're gonna use if, then, else statement. But before we do that, we're gonna write comments for procedure. So when we have a source code, we're gonna have comments at the beginning, and we're gonna have comments for every single procedure. Now, for this one, we have 2 buttons. So normally, how many buttons you have, then how many procedure you should have plus the form load. So if I have 2 buttons, I will have 2 plus 1, 3 procedures in total. Okay, because what is the button for? You want to interact with the user, right? So if the user clicks the button, it will do something, right? So normally, how many buttons you have? Then if you have n buttons, then n plus 1, because you have 1 frame load or form load. Okay, let's start from the comment part. So the button calculate 1. So let's see the comment. The button calculate event handler calculate the estimate cost of backing based on the square footage and stacking time. Now, when you do the calculation for this, so for this one, it's quite easy because all the variables will be decimal part. The price is decimal, right? 2.35, 7.75, 8.5, they're all decimals. So you want to declare everything to be decimal part. So give it a click. Also, again, so last time we learned, we can declare variables within a procedure or outside a procedure at the beginning of the class. So if I declare something right here, if I declare something in the line 11, that will be global variable, which means all the procedure in this class will be able to use that. But if I declare something in the line 15, okay, which is part inside of our bottom calculate click, that means those variables should be local variables. And we always want to have local variable. We don't want global because global is out of control. So the only global we want will be constant number. What is constant number? The value you never change. The value you never change, like pi 3.1415, or how many days a year, 365, or how many minutes per second, per hour, 60 minutes per hour. So so that is like constant number you never change. So to have, if you want to have constant numbers, you declare at the beginning, right under the public class. Otherwise, you should put it inside of each procedure. So next part is we're gonna declare our variables. Declarations sections. Oh, I know I mentioned to you guys we're gonna start the coding at 12. So I'm gonna let you guys do the coding after 12:20. Okay, let me finish this part. And I'm gonna introduce you a very important content, which is called if-else statement. If, then, else first. Okay, we have a declaration section. And we're gonna have, think about, you can have this one here, right? The value from here, how many footage you want to display, and this have 3 of them. and the total price. So you should have at least 5 variables. Okay, the square price, I mean, how many number of square footage, right? And the cost, total cost of, which one you use. So you can have unit like to choose. If I choose this one, if the check button of this you choose, then the cost per unit will use this number. Otherwise I use red, otherwise I use composite. Then I have a total cost, which is this two multiplied together. The square footage times the price unit, right? That is the total cost. So we're gonna have actually 6 values, 6 variables. Now the square footage, the unit price based on your selection, and the 3 unit price, and then the total cost. So let's start from the first one, DIM. Now DIM again means variable dimension, right? You do know each variable type occupy different memory space, right? For decimals, I believe it's 12 bytes, right? Decimal footage as decimal. Okay. If you see this green underline, that means it's not used yet. So if we use this one, it will the green underline will disappear. So as you can see, if I move my cursor to right here, it tells you unused local variable decimal footage, because sometimes we declare certain variable that we never use them. So it give us some kind of warning message. Now, once we use this variable in one of our calculations, the green curve line will be gone. I'm going to define another one. Decimal cost per square foot as decimal. Okay, again, you can see another red green on the line. So we are waiting to be used. And we have another one that decimal DEC start with decimal cost estimate. So which is the cost per square times the footage, right? Decimal. So later on, the cost estimate should equal to the footage times cost per square foot. But how much is cost per square foot is based on your if-else statement. The other one is dimension. Like lumber cost as decimal. Here, now in this line, that shows you once we declare a variable, we can assign value right away. See, we can assign the value right away. So we can have a single equal sign. That decimal lumber cost equal to, according to the comments, is 2.35. 2.35. Now this D means decimal. Okay, decimal type. Okay. So we can initialize our value right away. By doing that, next one is dimension deck redwood cost as decimal equal to, according to the comments on the top, is 7.75 decimal. As you can see, if you initialize value, you don't have the green curly underline. So we have a last one. plus decimal equal to 8.5, which is the most expensive one. 8.5D. So all the variables are ready. Now let's see. Now what is our calculation? Okay. As you can see, if you since you're already inside of the page 286, you can see what's the next part. It tells you now after you declare the variables, now you start to use if-else statement. Okay. So first of all, you check. Okay. First of all, you check whatever you type here is a valid integer. Then now if it's less than 1 or less than 0, it will pop up a message box. Okay, now if you just type numbers, then you have to check which one is to choose. If this one is chosen, if this the red number dot check is true, then the price is this price. Otherwise, the price will be whatever check property is true, right? So we can see the next one. So it says it. Did user enter a numeric value? Did user type enter numeric value? Now, right here, it says if. Now it's the first time you see the if-else statement. Now, before we type this, I want to show you the book. In the book, somewhere, okay, chapter 5, plugin code. Design, 2 page, not right here, program design. Okay. So let's see this one. Now, we want, first of all, we want to test the input to determine if the value is numeric. Okay. Right here, you can see here, Visual Basic is numeric function. Right here, can check the input value is determined if it can be converted into the numeric value, such as integer or decimal data type. If so, it will return a true Boolean value. If the value is not recognized as numeric value, then its numeric function return a false. So now if I use if-else statement, then right after if, it will be your Boolean condition. If the condition true, then I will do the part after that. Else, if it's not true, I do the else part. Like if today is sunny, okay, is today sunny or not? There's only one answer. There's only 2 answers. Today is sunny or today is not sunny. There's nothing in the middle, right? So the Boolean value is like only two things, black or white, nothing gray. Okay, so if it's today sunny or not, if today is sunny, if it's condition true, then I will walk to home. Okay, else I'll take a bus, right? This is a decision. So if else statement is very important. So we know we have 3 basic structure of programming. The first basic structure is a sequence structure. Previously, everything we write is sequence. So we finish line 1, we go to line 2. We finish to line 2, we go to line 3. That's a sequence. Now, this is the second basic structure. We call it selection statement. Based on this logic condition, true or false, we make decision. Okay, if it's true, we do the statement behind that. Now, if it's false, we do the statement behind else. But the else is not necessary. Okay, it's optional. Okay, because sometimes when I make decisions, I don't have to do else part. Like if today is sunny, I have to take a walk. Maybe I don't have an else at all. Okay, whatever I do, I will do the next part. So this is possible. So the else part is always optional. Okay, so based on this is numeric function. This numeric function is true or false. So it can be a logic condition of our if-else statement. Okay, so you can see here. So if the numeric is this one, then we do some statement. Else we do that. And then if we did not, then we can display a message box. This is the first time you see the message box. Now today we probably don't have time to go over the message box. We're gonna leave the message box next time. We do the coding part. Okay, so let's do the coding, finish the coding part. If, now if what is numeric? As you can see, the IntelliSense have this one because it's part of this procedure or function in our library. It's okay. It's numeric. What is numeric? Which one? Corresponding to this, right? Corresponding to this text box. The text box dot text. Text footage dot text. So if whatever we type inside of this text box is numeric, then we do some action. Otherwise, we will have a message box show up. Okay, so we can do this part. If this one, text, okay, txt, text footage, dot, text, okay, it is this, then we do some action. Then we just do, we change, but keep in mind, everything we type inside of this text box will be string. Okay, not even everything. I mean, all the object you see inside of your user interface, all these letters, all this whatever, on this user interface are all strings. So if you want to do the calculation, you always need to convert to the numbers. Okay, later on when you have a result, well, after you calculate, now your result will have, you know, numbers, but in order to display on your user interface, now you have to convert these numbers to string. Then you can assign to the text, because everything you display on the user interface will be on certain object text property, which should be string type. Okay, so we have to convert. If I want to do the calculation, I want to convert from the text property to the number property. If I want to display, then I want to convert from number property to string property. Now we go to here, we type decimal footage not equal to, we're gonna go to the convert. It's not first time we see the convert, right? We see the convert on the beach bike rental. Now we have that. Convert dot to decimal. Now what's inside? Okay, text footage dot text. Okay, so we have that. Now we do the calculation. But for this one, now what if I don't have, I mean, if it's not numeric, okay? If it's not numeric, we're gonna display a message box. So we're gonna have else right here. Okay, right here. Wait a second. This is the else part. Okay. And what does this else part do? Display error message. If user enter a non-numeric value. So which means if this one is false, I will do the else part. Okay, we're gonna complete whatever inside of this. It will be a long line right here on the line 27. We're gonna do that. First of all, we'll do the else part. Display an error message if user enter a non-numeric value. Then we will have a message. So if I type something not numeric, like every letter, it'll give an error message. It give me a message box. Okay, but what is the format of message box? Okay. So you can go to here. The message box, okay, wait a second. The message box actually is inside of page 2. 238. 238. Okay, on the type page 238. Okay, so this is a message box definition. Okay, so general format of message box is message box message. Okay, so whatever you want to have, this will be inside of this, like a message box. Enter the square footage. This is a basic one. Now you can make it fancy by, you see, message box. You can have a one string, so like this. You pop up this message box, or this is general format. We can have message, and empty, kind of empty space, then caption. This is a message box statement with caption. Okay, the caption is on the top. Input arrow. Okay, that is another message box. Now, besides that, we can display the message box caption, message box button. Now they have some certain format right here. So as you can see here, those figures provide the message box format. So this message box, as you can see here, we can have the button OK cancel right here. Okay, the first one is message, then we have the button entry, and we have OK cancel and entry arrow. So we can have this user is missing, one arrow. So those different message box type. Okay, so you can double check again from page 236, from page 236 to page 241. So there are many different data type, message box type. Okay, so this is one of this, and if you want, you can move on. See here, this argument, message box style, OK, 0, OK, cancel, abort, try, yes, no, cancel, yes, no, retry. Okay, they have value here. Okay, so what the value corresponding to this, see here, this one. What does this one means? This one means OK, cancel. That is why you have an OK and the cancel button right here. So this is 2. This 2 is the same. Okay, this 2 will generate the top one, and this 2 will generate the bottom one. Okay, because 1 means OK cancel. It means you will have a button for OK, button for cancel. Yes.
My project crashed and saying I tried reloading it, so that it was error loading it.
Hello again. So I'm going to show you this this screen, so I can, when I fix the issue. So it's here. Okay, because so there are many different type of message box. Yes.
That's the bigger lady crashed. Yeah, I tried doing it.
Where is it? You type you also from here.
Yeah. You just click it.
But where did you save your project?
To the desktop. Every time I open it,
What you have this part for exactly what that. Okay. Something's wrong. I know what you are. Yeah. You're using the good stuff. It's right here. Well, that is why you cannot just have this. You should have create a project folder.
Yeah, I was saving it to the desktop.
No, the same like thing here. Now you cannot just open the .s area. You should always ask why. Every time you give me something, I just couldn't open. So you have to,
For all the other projects, opening it like this for.
you have this is one, probably,
Yeah.
probably.
Converted to a decimal, but declared as a decimal.
So you declare decimal footage as a decimal, all right? So that value is always going to be decimal. What you're saying is decimal footage is going to be text footage dot text converted to a decimal.
Okay, so that.
It's in a sign that you're assigning this to that. So before you can make text footage into a number because you're typing it, but that's technically a
Yes,
string.
this is
not a
what you
decimal.
have so far, right?
What you do is you're taking that text, converting it to
So
a
where's
decimal,
your
assigning
user
that
interface
value
now?
to that.
So you're saying that's what you need.
Yes, it's gotta be your text
I
and
think
your
the only
footage
thing you can
box.
do is you have to read it,
Convert to
you need to do that, that's the thing.
Delete everything you do.
Yes, because the spirit is right now, tell me what happens, what
It
is wrong?
just crashed and opening and give you that.
It's just automatic crash?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I think as you can see here, I think your files under according to this. It's on the, if I click the open file, project solution, it is from your username, source map, if I click this. In fact, if you want, you can just do something. I want to leave this in that class. I think you guys probably want something, to do by yourself. No. PC? What's your name? What's your folder? That's not a document? What's that? Name? PC? Windows? You have user? Here?
yeah.
Here? Start? Here? This one? This is this. It's inside of it. Let me count. Separate. Hey, something wrong. Let me check. Where we are. Okay, in here. With that is just class is like it's gone. Your user interface is gone.
Okay.
In here it's gone. Something's wrong. To prevent passwords before an error must be resolved. Ensure the com guy. We don't even have that. All of it. Just I go for the coding part. The coding part. That's your code. No, that's not. That's not your coding part. From that, hold on, baby. You cannot see that. This is wrong. Right there.
I just like make a new one. Like this one.
I think so. Why we are matching this page?
Yeah, I went there. Didn't do.
Did you like try to do all of this?
What was that?
I mean, like, did you type all of this already?
Yeah, I already had that.
That is wrong. Just you're gonna have to start over again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put her. So I'm gonna stop it here because I think you guys probably need some help. So I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna continue this class on next. I'll come back from spring break. But you do know we have a different type of message box. Okay, so you can check from page 236 to page 241. 241. Actually. So you can get an idea. So the one we're going to use will be the easy one. Here. You can see here. Value 16, value 32. If you want to have some certain icon pop up, that is the choice you have. You can check it when you have time. So we can go over this one again on next class, which is when we come back from the spring break. I'm gonna stop sharing. So this is the next 10 minutes to help you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna stop.